500 miles from home, 500 miles from family and friends, still 500 miles to go. Was it really worth it for a work trip? I made good money, yeah, but why do I specifically need to go to a conference in San Antonio? After I wrapped up that thought, I put out my cigarette and entered the gas station. I grabbed some chips, gum and a coffee. I went up to the counter and got ready to check out. "Hi, find everything you need?" Yeah, at least to get me through the night." "You from around here?" "No, I'm from out of town, Iowa actually. I'm going to San Antonio for a business thing." "Just a word of advice, this town gets a bit abnormal at night. I wouldn't recommend driving until morning at least." I grabbed my stuff and thanked her for the advice, but I'd be fine. As I exited the gas station, I realized how dark it was outside. I looked at my watch and it was 10 minutes before 11. As I looked up, I swear I saw a person disappear into the dark of the night. I shrugged it off, got in my car and started my drive. I lit up a cigarette and turned up the radio station I was listening to. Then I saw it again. That same guy, except I got a weird feeling this time. He was watching me from the side of the road. I turned onto a long dirt road and it was supposed to lead me to the freeway. After 10 minutes, I started to get confused. I glanced at my GPS and it showed my car not moving. I sighed, just what I needed, a damn broken GPS. I turned around, but another 5 minutes went by and the surroundings never changed. I started to freak out a bit, but after a minute I managed to calm myself down somewhat. What was weird though was, there wasn't anything but forest and road. No wildlife, nothing. There's no way I got lost on a fucking straight road, I thought. Then it appeared. I saw it first in my rearview mirror, a human-like figure with long, lanky arms, large, void-like eyes with no mouth. It somehow stayed with my car even though it's not moving, almost like it's teleporting towards me. Its gaze made me look away, but it kept appearing in my head. The radio turned static, and then I had to turn it off after the scream started blaring through. The figure or entity or whatever was still behind me. I was hoping to come across some kind of civilization, but I still had yet to see anything else but road. 2 hours went by and I was starting to get tired. I was afraid to stop because of that thing behind me. I tried to turn the radio back on again, but that was a mistake. The screaming continued and I turned it off again. I started to cry. I was shaking and terrified. I almost swerved off into the darkness and I had to try to somewhat compose myself. Then I heard breathing in the back seat and my blood ran ice cold. I looked in my rearview mirror, nothing. I then realized that the thing behind me must be fucking with me somehow. I felt it watching me, analyzing even my tiniest movements. It's still in my head. I try to block it out, but I can't. It's etched into my memory, probably for as long as I live. My eyes grew heavy, but I thought to keep them open. I drank the rest of my coffee and kept as much alertness as I could, that thing still trailing me. I decided to give that thing a name from now on. Might as well, since just calling it that thing gets kinda confusing. It will be referred to as the Tall Stalker from now on. The Tall Stalker appeared in front of me. It tried to run me off the road, and it damn near did. I don't think you can get me if my car is moving. I thought about driving off-road, but there's too much risk I crash. I've been using voice to text to document my situation. Hopefully I can find a way out. If not, my last resort is hoping someone somehow finds this and posts it. If that happens, it's too late for me. My watch said 6 AM, but nothing in my scenery changed. I noticed my car's tank. It was almost empty. Shit, I thought. I glanced at the tall stalker in the rearview mirror. Even though it had no mouth, I could tell it was happy. I should have taken the cashier's advice. Did she know? How could she know? How could anyone know? This feels like a nightmare, but I'm awake. I know I am. I heard the breathing in my backseat again. This time I didn't pay attention to it, and I think it got angry. It tried to run me off the road again, this time putting my brother in the middle of the road. My life flashed before my eyes. I knew I would never see my family or friends again, my town, or anything for that matter. All that has been my life for 7 hours is a road of complete darkness. I started to feel hopeless, and I started to accept everything. As scared as I was, what could I do? The car started to slow down, then it came to a complete stop, and I looked in my rearview mirror. The tall stalker was getting closer, almost like it was taking its time. It seemed confident that I wouldn't escape. I'm going to try to make a run for it. Maybe I can somehow get out of this hell.